let's create new scene again. I'll say just new scene, save as URP, because what we're going to use is universal render pipeline. So go to the package manager and the Unity registry. Here, just type, well, you can just type the render. Then you will see that different type of the render pipeline. Well, high definition is more like when you try to make, for example, interior of the building. So it provides you the more details and more complex the light calculation, something like that. So, but usually you don't need to go for this one. If you are not thinking about it, just real render inside of the Unity. So usually just universal render pipeline is totally fair enough. So let's install this one.
So this is like if you want to like render animations or like just do regular still images or something.
Exactly. Better calculation for the result of the screen. So basic render, which provides the Unity render pipeline. I think it was, I forgot the name of the basic standard pipeline. It's like quite, how can I say that? It's quite weak, I can say. I mean, we'll see the differences from now. So to do that, let's download one asset. This is just for the, I mean, you can use the you can use the terrain we generated, something like that, but I think this is easiest way to compare it. So I was thinking to locally park. This one, yeah. Let's download this one and open in Unity. I think it was this one, locally park. Okay, yeah. I think this is pretty much enough. Well, the thing is, this scene is already made of a little bit different assets. So, I mean, different render pipeline. So I just want to select, oh, wait, I'm just going to create empty again, park. Wait, oops. Park, reset. Then I want to make this park as a flip-flop. Okay, this is fine. Then let's go back to our URP scene. We don't need to save it. And let's bring our park. Just bring it to all right. It's a little bit off from the 0 point, but I think this should be fine. So let's have a look like in this, maybe like something like this. So now we can compare one by one. Like I think this is enough, and I'd like to change my main camera to here. So now we're going to share the same view, excuse me, in the game view and the scene view here. So first of all, what we need to do is just let's go to the directional light. No, sorry. Let's go to the window, and then we need to open the general, no, sorry, rendering and lighting. Let's drag and drop this panel to here. Because we're going to use these lightings again lots of time. And first of all, let's generate a new light settings. And you can just turn on the auto generate and we can turn off the baked global illumination, disable the baked global illumination, and yeah, I'm going to turn on the real-time global illumination, and that's it for now. Then let's create another folder, which is going to call rendering. Which part is not using? This Parker sets. We're not going to use this one, so I'm going to delete this one. Okay. Inside of the sorry, inside of the rendering, we're going to create rendering here, universal render pipeline and pipeline assets. So create rendering universal render pipeline and pipeline assets. So we're going to create the pipeline assets. Let's enter. It's going to automatically create these two renders, assets and asset render. And then select the asset renderer and go to the inspector and then just add render feature. You can just select the screen space ambient occlusion. And that's it. So now, sorry, now we are ready to use this universal render pipeline. So let's go to the edit and where is it? Project settings. So it's going to change entire project. So after you change your render pipeline, you can have some error to the other scene. So you have to change all of your materials. So anyway, we need to go to the player and then let's change the gamma settings to linear. Change to linear because linear provides a bit more realistic and more complicated like the calculation. So linear is a bit better, right? I mean, yeah, it became darker, but it's fine because this is for now, this is more realistic render for current light. So what we need to do is just change all the other settings from now on. So, and then here inside of the player project settings, you need to go to the, where is it? Graphics here and select this one and select universal render pipeline assets. And now exactly you will have the error with the renders is fine because it should have, because all of the materials here is using the standard. So the shader of the render should have changed. What does it mean is like if I go to the park and materials, for example here, it used the standard shader. The shader is controlling the how can I say that render of the inside of the Unity. So it has a when I go to the just blue material, it usually is standard, but you will see a lot of different renders over here. So sometimes you also need to script. You also need to write the script for the special shader as well. So I mean, there is actually a book only about the shader in the Unity. So this is quite complicated things as well. So, but just you can understand as shader as controlling the material. I mean the renders in different ways. So here you need to go to the, where was it? I think it was, yeah, in the edit. You will see the render pipeline over here. So we need to change all the materials. So here you will see the render pipeline, universal render pipeline, upgrade project materials to universal render pipeline materials. So it's automatically changing all the shaders to universal render pipeline shaders. Just want to click this one and proceed. Voila. So now you're going to see we are using the universal render pipeline to render these the materials. And let's go to the rendering and select this one, the asset. And so we need to go one by one. first of all, we can turn on the anti-aliasing. Well, if for now this is very low poly, so maybe you don't see that difference, and then it's fine. But if when you have a really large project, maybe you'd like to go for the 4x, but 4K. But this time I'll just go for the 8 times, and then the shadow resolution is 4K as well, 4K as well, and then what we need to change is here cascade count is, so it is calculating so when you see the shadow of this one, it's very lagging over here. So we'd like to make a high resolution of the shadow. So here, just let's add a cascade count. 2 is already bit better, but the maximize is 4. It's like it's now you can see it's quite sharp edges over here. And you see that here is a gap in between the shadows. So you need to reduce normal BRs to 0. So now it's the seamless over here. And then some is yeah. Okay. And this is kind of base settings for this. And then let's go to the directional light. And you also can change the location of the light over here as well, as you can see here. And then the brightness of the light itself is changing by the location of the light because it is like sun. So I just found that I just like tried this and that, and then I just found maybe this is fair enough for this project. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then again, I'd like to increase some intensity to have a brighter, like you can have something like that. And then maybe 2.5, or yeah, I think this is fair enough. And then soft shadows indeed. And so for now, can you see? Yeah. For example, if you see here, like it looks like very flat because strength of the shadow is very strong, so you don't see any difference. So just want to reduce the strength of the shadow, so it's a bit weaker. Maybe this is too weak, but something like this. And then this behind is called the skybox. So when you go to the mm, lightings and where is it? Environment tab. Here is using the skybox, which is behind. So we'd like to have a different material for skybox. So create material. I'm going to call this skybox file -1, which is fine. And then inside of inspector, you can select the shader of the skybox and procedural, and that's it. And now you can change. You can have because yeah, for now we didn't attach this skybox yet. So, but yeah, here you already can see the skylight is changing, something like that. So you can have like this kind of things as well. So let's change the color. Let's change the settings inside of the lighting here. Just simply drag and drop our skybox to here. So now it is changed it again. Sorry. And you also can, where is it? change the intensity, like so light size of the sky bars. I think just one is enough. And then also, I think there's one thing is if you don't like the light is bouncing to the ground. So if you want to have a different color, different rendering from the skybox, you also can have the color, and then the yeah, you can have like very different color from the skybox like this. Well, but the so now I'll just stick with the skybox, which is more a bit more realistic. And then to get the a bit of ambient moment, we can add the fog, and color can be like this. We can increase the density like 5. Well, this is too much. So still this is too much. Yeah, you see that this so behind is like inside of fog. Then you also can um, oh, excuse me. And then there is another way to use the fog is the linear. As linear is more about the cool. So yeah, you can have play with the this kind of fog as well. So once you change to linear, you can have like this. So maybe like this thing. Yeah. So behind is kind of foggy still. So you also can change the color of the fog, something like that. And in the end, the finally we want to play with the some post processing stack. So it basically Unity provides this kind of render pipeline to control the light and to control the light and the just like how can I say that the bouncing, killing the bouncings and those kind of things. And then apart from that, we also can add the post processing. So this is going to be like kind of the Photoshop or Instagram things like so. I'm just going to create the global volume and then go to the main camera, inspector of the main camera. You have to pick, where is it? Post processing, and then go to the global volume. And here, create a just new profile. Now it's going to have, it has already new profile for the post processing. And just all you need to do is just add override. A bit better calculating for the cinematic view. First of all, you can add tone mapping here and mode with the ACES. Yeah, is and another override, we can add color adjustment. So here you also can, oops, much. Yeah,
Hanyu, what exactly is the global volume? Like, is that just to change the overall image, or what is?
it is. I'm really sorry for this.
It's okay.
It is, yeah, it is. How can I say that? It is add filter to the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is add to the filter. So actually the basic material is not changing by changing the by doing this, but just it is adding to the filter to main camera. So it just make a look a bit different, but it doesn't change uh, the 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 value of the model of the project itself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like that, I mean, after you make some of them, if you don't like that, all you need to do is just turn up the global volume, disable the global volume, and then it's going to go back. Right. So this is more obvious, like
Oh,
this. Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
no, sorry, and like if you have multiple cameras, does this apply to all of them, or is it like you can select like just one camera?
You don't need to. Well, I mean, it depends because if you have the multi-camera, and then you should, if you untick this one, is you're not it's not going to use. So for example, I mean, like this main camera, if I untick the post-processing, you will see. Well, I mean, this is anyway the scene view is going to see like this, but inside the main camera, it's not using the global volume anymore.
Okay.
Mm. So you can select within this. And if you don't want to see that inside of the scene view, maybe sometimes, I mean, sometimes you only want to see that inside of the game view. And I think if you this is only for when you have the multiple camera local is so like in your situation. So basically just select the global to see it in everywhere, and then if you want to have just some part of the camera, I think it was local because to be honest, I never used the local, so I don't know about this one. I think let's see, add a collider. This okay. Okay. Local is it can only show the couple of special game object, I guess. This is for that. I never used it, the local.
Hmm.
So that's like that. And then you also can control the contrast as well as color filter, something like that. And well, you can control the situation indeed. So you can have like this kind of black and white view. So I mean, there's lots of the post-processing step that you can play with. So just please have a look when you have a time. So maybe this one is mm, like vignette. So we can have something like this one, and then we also can have I don't know, maybe invasion. This is a bit weird, but yeah, like do you see it's like kind of, I can say that, like old movie scenes. Like if you see the outside of the boundary, like here, it's like uh, it is called chromatic aberration, and yeah, and then you can play with this one as well. So lens distortion is just like this, like you can change the view, something like that. Mm. So yeah, when you make the so tomorrow, Sumin, we're going to take care about the camera movement. So within that, you can choose you can record your scene, your view properly, and then when you do that, maybe you'd like to add some this kind of post processing stack to have a special view, and then you also can have, I was trying, maybe I can also introduce fill and grain. So well, this is very weak, but maybe intensity. Yeah, you see a bit of noise over here. So uh, it makes you feel like some kind of watching the old movie, something like that. So you can play with the lots of the post processing stack as well. And then in the end, I think, all right. And then just one more thing. Sometimes I'm going to add just one cube. Oh, where is it? And then I added too many effects. To scale up a bit, but I also want to make them visible. Yeah. here, I'd like to add one material, which is imaging material. And I'm going to say this material to yellowish, but not there, sorry. Emission here, something like this one. And then I'm going to increase the intensity like this. I'm going to give the cube. So now it is, well, I mean, I think I added too many filters. So, I mean, now it is kind of emitting, but it's very hard to see it right now. So what you need to do is just add another overlight, which is blooming. And when you increase the intensity, you can see that the emission material is like working as like a light. So you also can do with this. To do this, yeah, you have to use the bloom effect over here. So like yeah. Scatter also can use scatter, or the intensity is a bit different, and threshold. So yeah, this is how you make the just simple kind of lighting things inside of Unity as well. Cool. And but I mean, to calculate this one, you also need you need to attach a bit different systems with the lightings. But yeah, just this is kind of very simple, showing the lightings. And then I think this is pretty much. Maybe I was thinking to introduce particle system, but not sure if it is useful, to be honest. I was planning to show the particles, but so well, just quickly can introduce the particle, which is effect particle system. Here, well, I'd like to have a bit better position. Where is it? Right. Yeah. This is like creating this kind of particle system inside of the Unity, and then it can have a lot of different effect as well. So here, when you go to the particle system, when you go to the inspector, there's well, I'm going to yeah. You see the lots of tabs over here. So everything is you can control it actually. So first of all, for example, you can change the well, I showed you how to change the position and duration as well. And sometimes, like if you, for example, if you have like a bomb effect or just killed effect, maybe you don't want to use the looping, so it only plays once like that. Well, one time is quite okay. I just change to duration 2, and then yeah, it's only played 2 seconds. And also here, this emission means a bit different. So it can be burst. So burst means it's going to create like oops, bomb effect, and bubble is maybe cycles. And maybe I'm going to increase the duration like 10. Hmm. Late over time. 0. add burst. 36 one. So well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, and then the it also can change the shape, but now it is came from like a cone shape, and then it can be like a donut shape as well, like this. For the convenient, I'm going to just turn on the looping, and as well as a box. So I mean, it can be any shape where you can change. So this can be used in various way as well. I think I introduced this one previous our workshop. I think you remember this, Daniel, right? Actually, no, it's fine. All right, and so the size can be changed over time as well, like this. So it is increasing the size, and speed also can be changed. So you can have a rotation. I mean, you can see that it is rotating, even though it's like dots for now. Like, but you also can have a different renderer as well. So you can have like a different shape of the particles as well. And excuse me. And that's it, I guess. Yeah, that's it for today.